Hi guys! Welcome to my very belated, apologies for the delay, review of Once Upon a Time episode 618, Where Bluebirds Fly. So someone left a comment on my last review saying please review the pancakes scene, which clearly is going to happen. But this is something that I've been struggling with over the past few days because I've been like, how do I even start talking about this scene? There's no real way to properly review this scene without sounding a little bit like a creep because, you know, fangirling over two people in such like an intimate moment is, you know, probably going to be interpreted as a little bit creepy. So before I talk about anything else with this episode, I'm just going to talk about the pancake scene because it's the greatest moment that we've been given in the longest time, and obviously like the proposals have been lovely and very important, and I'm so happy that that's happening. But this is what we've wanted for so long, like domestic, cute, quiet moments of them just like hanging out together in their house. Obviously, this scene was incredibly hot, so we'll just put that right out there. But on top of that, the most important thing about this scene was they were just so happy. The happiness of these people just filled my heart with joy. I'm gonna link a couple of things in the description box down below that I really enjoyed. There's a Tumblr post that is basically just like a breakdown frame by frame of that entire scene, and like this person totally fangirling over it, and it's really like over the top, but I was like, yeah, I feel you. That's how I felt watching that scene. I think just when it's characters like this that have been through so much and consistently we are faced with like angsty, complicated moments for their relationship. So throughout all of this, they've loved each other and they've wanted to be together, but we've just had so many moments of them being separated and people trying to tear them apart and so many issues. And I just read an article, like a review of the episode there actually, where people were talking about the fact that like, yeah, okay, so constantly just giving like cute moments gets old, and what you know, to keep things interesting, you've got to have some drama. And what Jen's said over the past couple of years is that what she really likes about this story is that they've kept them together. This isn't one of these couples who they've put together too early so they then break them up and put them back together and break them up again. Like, they've been consistently together since season 4, and that I just think is something really lovely and really unusual. Even couples who are like the ultimate like OTPs and endgame kind of material get split up all the time, or like they start seeing other people and whatever just to create a bit of drama, but they've never done that with ones. They've kept these two together, which I appreciate a lot. But yeah, like the past few episodes, even though they've been getting engaged and they're living together and all that lovely stuff, all we've really been presented with is like problematic stuff. So it's just really lovely when you get a cute, quiet, domestic moment to just see them like just enjoying themselves and just being happy and just taking advantage of just like being alone together for 5 minutes. It was lovely. I enjoyed all of the lines. I'm not going to start quoting because like every single part of that just like, it was so cutely written. Bridget, who's the writer who wrote that scene, she was tweeting saying, oh, I'm so excited that you guys have loved it. Like, she obviously knew. She says while she was writing it, she'd nicknamed the scene Pancakes, and she knew like the fans would go crazy for it. But thank you, Bridget, for that adorable scene, because we will never get over it, I don't think. But it's just what we've needed. It's something that ties together what the whole point of this journey for Emma has been, which is to get from someone who's lonely and isolated and shut off from the world to someone who's happy and in love and trusting the people around her and part of a family, and just getting to actually, rather than just being told, oh, I'm now happy and I'm in a good place, actually getting to see that is just, oh, it's just too cute. So Snow interrupting was actually hilarious. Obviously you don't want her to interrupt because you want them to just like have some time alone together, but I just like the looks on their faces when she walked in was amazing. The fact that Kellyanne was like so completely just done with the world in that moment of like, are you actually serious? Again, we're getting interrupted again, was amazing. I've discovered my favourite thing ever, which is an edit that someone made. I'll link it in the description box down below. I did actually tweet it. I just cut the little portion of the video and put it on Twitter and linked to the YouTube video. But someone who makes Once Upon a Time crack videos, which I'm not gonna lie, I watch every week because I am that person. But they had overlaid like clips of that scene with the scene from Mean Girls where Amy Poehler walks in on Regina. Oh, funnily enough, Regina. But when Amy Poehler's character walks in on Regina and Sean, is it? Or Regina and her boyfriend like making out in her room. And I won't continue with it because it's too funny, like you need to actually just watch it, but oh my god, it's my favourite thing. Amy Poehler plus Mean Girls plus Captain Swan mashup is like the greatest thing I could ask for. It's like 3 of my favourite things mashed together. So yeah, loved that. moving on within the same scene, but moving on from that, the fact that Snow is so excited about this wedding and so excited to be a part of it and be involved in making it this really happy occasion for Emma is so cute. I love the fact that she's got this wedding book that she's kind of made up over like a really long time, because Emma's like, have you done all this since Vicky and I got engaged? And she's like, oh yeah, I might started a little bit earlier, and it's like a massive book and all these little like clips of like dresses that she thinks that she might like and everything. It's so lovely to see her finally getting a moment, because what we saw in that episode before in Awake was that they'd had that moment where they could have been involved in Emma's life sooner, but they chose to kind of put everyone else ahead of their own happiness because they assumed that Emma was okay where she was. They didn't get to actually see that she was really struggling in the foster care system. They thought that she was adopted or whatever and that she was happy, but they could have been involved in her life earlier than they were, and so getting to actually see her having this moment of going, I'm going to make up for all of the things that I missed in the past by being such a big part of planning your wedding, was really lovely. And it was so cute to see that moment where Emma saw how much it meant to her and hugged her and said that she wanted it to be as special for her as Snow did. It was really lovely. So carrying on, I'm going to cover all of that kind of side of things before I talk about the Zelina aspects of the episode. But David and Snow fighting over what the wedding was going to be like and where they were going to have it was gold. The initial couple of scenes were just really funny, where they were in Granny's and Snow was so excited and she's going, oh, what do you think? Like, you could see at that point that Emma and Kelly were a little bit like, Granny's? Really? And I really loved that little moment where he was like, oh, wouldn't it be romantic if we did it in the Jolly Roger? And they were just super cute again. But seeing David and Snow having that kind of like bickering over where it was going to be, and David referencing the fact that Snow had a date with Whale and Granny's, just made me laugh so much. But then as the episode went on and you saw that actually really what was at the heart of it was that David couldn't bear the idea of this really special day for Emma being interrupted by the Black Fairy coming in to cause chaos, or Gideon doing something. He just wanted it to be at a time where everything was kind of perfect for them, and that they would be like really happy and they could trust that it was going to be a perfect day, because obviously their wedding got interrupted by the evil queen, and so that was all very difficult for them, and it kind of like didn't ruin their day but like tarnished what was a really special day for them. And so I can see why he doesn't want that for Emma, and I just think that's really lovely. And I liked that like you could kind of understand where both of them were coming from, because from Snow's perspective she's like, but they love each other and they're happy and they're engaged and they want to get married, like why wait? There's always going to be something that could be problematic, so why not just do it now? And David, so you could understand that, but you could also understand David being like, well, we just don't know what's going to happen. Is there any point in rushing into something just now when everything's so up in the air? And then the sort of fact that Emma and Kelly were in agreement with David, and they were like, look, we love each other and we want this to be a really special occasion, but like everything's a bit of a mess just now, why don't we hold off? And Snow sort of saying like, oh yeah, but like what if we can't defeat the Black Fairy? What will happen if that all kind of goes up in the air? And Emma's like, well, it'll be a really short marriage anyway, which I enjoyed. Again, just that total matter of fact Emma fashion. And I just think that it makes sense why they would kind of want to wait, but you can understand why Snow is so excited, because she just wants to throw herself into something happy and hopeful and nice. And yeah, those were really lovely moments. I also loved Henry's comment where he was like, when Hook was saying, oh, let's get married on the Jolly Roger, and Henry's like, yeah, it's not going to be very romantic if all your guests are thrown up over the side of the boat, which I enjoyed. But yeah, anyway, that was all lovely, and I really enjoyed how they kind of just had that as the slightly like lighter side of the episode up against the Zelina stuff. So we got a Zelina-centric episode, which I was really happy about, because Zelina's had virtually nothing to do this season. I love episodes that explore the kind of Zelina-Regina relationship. It's such a complicated sisterly relationship, and it's such a shame that it's as messy as it is, because they both really need someone and they could be that person for each other, but they just can't trust each other. The flashbacks were really good. I liked seeing that moment of Zelina as a kid who was kind of like wanting to use her magic for good and to do the right thing, and with the Tin Man, meeting him at that point, or before he was the Tin Man, meeting him at that point and showing that she was a good person and that she wanted to use her magic for good, and being treated so poorly by other people but still sticking to her guns and saying, I'm going to do the right thing. And then seeing as she got older and felt that sense of isolation and the fact that she wasn't good enough for her mother to want to keep, and she didn't have that family or that support system, and just isolating herself further and further to the point that she was like, well, I've got my magic that makes me more powerful than anyone else. If they don't want to be supportive and good to me, then I'll show them what I'm capable of, kind of thing. It's interesting, I read a review talking about the fact that Zelina and Emma's stories, when you think about it, are actually quite similar in terms of their background and growing up orphaned and without their real family and feeling that sense of isolation and building up walls and barriers to keep people out. And in Zelina's case, that was using her magic to keep people at a distance. So the fact that in Storybrooke she was just like, she just has that attitude of like, I'm all powerful and I can do whatever I want. So if someone would kindly look after the baby, and she gives her to Belle, someone will kindly look after her, I'm gonna go and sort out the Black Fairy and I can do it. In fact, she's got like complete trust in herself. It's like the only thing that she really seems to ever have any certainty about is the fact that her magic will prevail. And so her going up against the Black Fairy was always going to be an interesting combination. I felt for her at that moment where she was like, right, I'm gonna show you what I'm made of, and was sort of trying to go up against her, and the Black Fairy kind of pretended for a second it was working and then just laughed her off and was like, are you kidding me? Do you seriously think that this is going to work? And the fact that she and Regina had argued about it and Regina had begged her not to do it, and then she went ahead and did it, and then the Black Fairy used that magic, her magic against her to turn the crystals into a weapon, and Regina just been so angry and being like, I told you not to do this. But at the end of the day, because Zelina still doesn't feel that she's really a part of it and really involved in it, she's going to go and do what she thinks is best, and obviously in this case that backfired. I really loved the scene where Regina and Emma were helping Zelina to sort of destroy her magic, because that's such a huge thing for Zelina. Her entire life has been built on having that magic as a part of her, and initially as something that she found problematic, but then something that she grew to rely on and find that that's where all of her power and strength came from. So when she was getting rid of the magic and putting it into that heart to take the magic out of the crystals, and Regina had said to her, how do you feel? And she'd said like, oh, I feel really weak. I think probably both sort of emotionally and just in terms of like her idea of what strength is, which is interesting because I actually made a video on what is strength and what makes a strong character. I'll put it on a card up here and it'll be linked in the description box down below, because that idea of Zelina seeing strength as being her ability to defeat people with her magic, where Regina and Emma are kind of saying to her, look, you know, actually what's really strong is that you've chosen to put everyone else and saving this town and saving all of us above your connection with your own magic. You're willing to give that up to be a better person and to help us all. Was really lovely. I love that scene. It just felt like such a strong like girl power scene where they were all kind of standing around the table, and even though it was her giving her magic up, it was for such good reasons, and it just, I thought it was lovely. And I really hope that through that there's going to be more of a sort of stable connection between Regina and Zelina for the next couple of episodes, because they just both need someone, and they're sisters, and although they've both done terrible things in the past, you just want them to reach a point where they decide to put their trust in each other over everything else and just be there for each other, because I think that would be nice. Lana and Bex did such a good job. They always do such a good job of playing those characters off against each other, but I thought it was particularly good in this episode. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there. I do apologise again for the fact that this video was so late, but I actually started a new job this week, so I was really busy this week and I didn't have time to sit down and sort of film it on the Tuesday night when I usually would have filmed. I really enjoyed that episode. I thought it was great, and I can't actually believe we're in such a close countdown to the wedding now. My brain just can't cope with that. It's so exciting. So let me know in the comments down below what you thought of this episode. How did you feel about the Zelina sort of redemption arc and the flashbacks to her and Oz with the man who became the Tin Man because she didn't help him? And obviously, like, let's just talk domestic CS because it's the cutest thing ever. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up to let me know, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button down below to keep up with all my videos. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope that you're having a great week, and I will speak to you again soon. Bye!